Hello guys and welcome back to another simple joke video. Today is a little bit more, not as lively, if you know what I mean. It's not as here, there, everywhere, energetic, so to speak, but I'm going to try to make it still like that. And this one's a little bit more, it's a little bit more personal to me, a little bit more, I don't want to make it emotional, it's not anything like that, but it's a little bit more personal to me and it's a little bit more hard to and especially with people who do have what this video is about, a little bit more personal between us guys who do and don't, you know what I mean. Anyway, but yes guys, if you've seen the name of the title, is Pectus Excavatum video. I made a video on this, believe 2 or 3 years ago, so maybe when I was 17 or 18, and might just say, oh, you'll be fine. That's not gonna help, that's not gonna help, you know. I'm personally honest, the best people to help you with these problems or people who've gone through. I made a video on Pectus Excavatum, I can't even say the word off the time, obviously with the dip in the chest, and basically it's been 5 years since I've had that operation. I had that operation when I was 16, so this video is just giving me basically explaining my kind of journey through them 5 years, and also just talking about it generally, like how it's affected me, how it went through, you know. I know I touched on a lot of it when I was 17, I think, or 18 when I did the video, but that was more about the anxiety I got from it. Obviously when I was around the pool and stuff like that, I got really bad anxiety, but now it's just how I am now. I'm 21, everything, so we're going to get into this guys. But first I'm going to talk about what it is for those who don't know. I know if you have seen it you will know, but for those who don't know what Pectus Excavatum is guys, it's basically a dip in the chest. It's basically a deformity within the chest walls, and you can either get it when you're born, so it dips in, or you can get it through puberty. Like me, when I believe it was kind of like 11, 12ish, that's when I started sawing it personally. So through all when I was younger, you didn't really see much. Yes, it was a small dip, or dint people like to call it. Yeah, you couldn't really see a lot, but when I got to the age of 11, 12, 13, I remember having baths and I could like hold water in my chest. I was like, is this normal? Like, is this what your normal chest is meant to be like? So I wasn't sure. And then obviously the older I got, I remember going through school, I was really conscious about taking my top off for pay. Obviously you need to get changed, you know, when you're in the last changing room, you take your top off, you get changed, and I was like, yo, other people don't have what I have, is this the norm? I don't know, this is weird, and I slowly started to get more and more self-conscious about it the older I got, and it mainly affected me when I was 15 / the start of 16, because obviously I used to go on holiday and I used to be really conscious about taking my top off, and that was a big thing for me. As soon as that happened, I thought, wait, is Liz right? Like, should I be feeling conscious? Should I be feeling very anxious about taking my top off? I shouldn't be, you know what I mean? And I thought, I'm going to be in my 20s, and then I was like, I can't be having this, I need to sort it out. So that's obviously when I did get to the doctors, because remember guys as well, not everyone has it severely. You can have so many different types. You see all the images on the screen, you know, and females can get it. It's more likely in men to get it than females, but females can get it. Obviously you can hide it a little bit more if you are female, because obviously you do have the breastbone, but again it affects both people, but it's more common in males and females usually, typically anyway. I swear something like 100, if 1 in 100 or 1 in 300 people have it anyway, something like that. But it can vary from mild to severe, obviously. Obviously if it's severe, you probably will have to get an operation anyway, and where if it's mild you can cope with it. Like the one I had was mild, I didn't have to have the operation, and mine was all cosmetic. Mine didn't affect me with breathing, or it didn't have any problems, anything with my body, how it was, because obviously through poop, I can't even say the words, through puberty, obviously my chest structure just kind of formed around it. So obviously as it was dipping in a bit, it just formed around it. But my major issue was I had a dip in the chest on my right side of my lungs, so it was kind of like the lungs were dipped in. So a mild one would just be a normal dip like that. So if you was there, just a normal dip like that in the middle, and that's usually what's called mild. But when it's severe, it usually affects one of the sides, so it dips in even more. And mine was on my right side, so you could really see it. Like, it was really, for me, it was really bad. Like I said, some people don't bother with it, and if you do have it and it doesn't bother you, honestly, I respect you so much, and that's brilliant. You know what I mean? If you don't have to have operation, don't have it. 100%, and if you're fine with it, you don't get self-conscious, go for it. Like, I'm proud of you guys out there doing that. But obviously if you do feel self-conscious, this public video is going to help you, and especially if you don't have because if you have the health problems with it, you have to have it done pretty much, because it's going to affect you later in life. So obviously it kind of makes sense. But if you don't get any symptoms like I didn't, it was all cosmetic. It was my mind. I was like, I can't deal with this. I won the operation, which I did anyway. But yeah, like I said, I had it in the right side of my lungs. So obviously dipped in there, and it was like, it came over to the right side. So obviously my heartbeat stayed up, because, you know, it's a bit more boom, you can hit up a bit more on that side. So this side was a lot more down. So yeah, anyway, when I was 16, went for the operation. I asked about it, and like I know I've explained it, but I'll go over it again. There's two different types of operations you can have. There's the nurse procedure and the Ravitch procedure. The nurse is a lot more intense than the Ravitch. It's not as intense in the operation when you do have it. The nurse is basically a bar that goes for the middle, and you flip and it turns it. So for example, if you didn't have anything on the side of your lungs, it's literally just a dip in the middle. So both your lungs were fine, open normally, and then you had a dip in the chest. You could have the nose bar and it flips in.
As the procedure wraps up, air is evacuated from the chest and the lungs are reinflated.
And then you have the bar out. I believe it's 3 or 5 years time you do get the nose bar removed. Yeah, it doesn't say it gets removed. Where the Ravitch procedure is a little bit more different. They still insert a bone on the original plan, but it's more, they repair like a lung. Like if it dips in there, they break a, I think they break a, is it break a rib? Not a lung, it's a rib, isn't it? They break a rib and they correct the rib, and then they do put a metal bit there and flip it, but it's a little bit different, the process. It's all going to be on the screen anyway. So at 16, I went to obviously talk about it, and we were discussing ideas. For some reason, I just didn't really run the nurse procedure. The way my chest was formed, they said to me anyway, they was like, to be honest, Joe, you'd probably be better with the Ravitch procedure because it's less intense, and especially at 16, you know, you're still young. It was very intense, so they was like, you'll probably be better with the Ravitch procedure. And originally the plans were to just break one of my ribs, fix that because I was lopsided, and then obviously put a ball, or like a small little ball, not the nose ball, but a newer ball, to flip the middle part of the chest up. And obviously went for the operation 16th December as well. This is why 5 years ago. And went for the operation, and it took 6 hours. And because halfway through the operation, they told me I had a collapsed lung, which, if you don't know what that is, guys, that's obviously when the lung goes down one of your side of the lungs, and they got it out quickly. Do you know what I mean? And we didn't really get a lot of information much after the operation. Personally, I'm not taking any away from the hospital. It was amazing. It was terrific. Not many places do the operation, so the fact that we got it done was amazing, especially being cosmetic. But my obviously lung collapsed, my right side of the lung. Obviously that could be when someone punches it, or it just go down, obviously, because you've been cut open, obviously. So obviously that was happening halfway through it, and we believe that's why the full procedure didn't go ahead. So obviously at 6 hours on the operating table, they broke my rib, fixed it because I was down, and now that's back up, which you can see in photos. Before it wasn't, this side was really down. Now both of my sides are the same. But I believe I was meant to have a little bar in the middle as well to push the middle chest up, but I don't think they did that, because after they broke the ribs, or the rib out, my lung collapsed. So we think and we believe we didn't ask a lot of questions, and now I look back, I probably should have had a few more questions, but I was in that much agony, I didn't. So yeah, obviously that's been repaired, that's pushed up, but we believe no bar in the middle, because after I had the operation, I remember I went for a shower, the first shower I had in the hospital. I looked at myself and I thought, yo, I've still got a dip in the middle of my chest. I didn't ask any questions. I probably should have. And then after a week or two, we came back as well to have a cover up. You know when you go for another appointment after, the checkup appointment after, and they was like, oh, you do have mild Pectus Excavatum now, so they must have missed out because of the collapsed lung. Because you know, if you're under flipping anaesthetic for 6 hours, that's a long time, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to do too much more, otherwise you wake up on the operating table. Not good, do you know what I mean? And they probably didn't want to do too much because I'm 16. So yeah, that's probably a massive effect. I could still go and have an operation now if I wish to, and have the nose spot as well to make my chest even more typically normal, you would say. There, but you can see at the age of 21, you know, I'm at that age where I'm like, I could do it, but I'd rather not, because, you know, I know I'm waffling on off the time in it, but at the age of 16, like, for me, I thought, you know what, I'll have the operation, hopefully it will help me. And it did, I'm not going to get me wrong, it has helped me so much. My confidence has grown. It's grown a lot more since then. I feel like a lot more confident, especially taking my top off, stuff like that. Yes, I still get them days when I'm thinking about, oh, it's not perfect. You know, you look at your typical models, it's like, damn, I wish it was like that, I wish it looked like that. But like I said, I do work out quite a lot now. But if I'm honest, for the age of 16 to 18, 19, I didn't do a lot of gym workout. I did a lot of exercise in terms of sports, but not a lot of physical, like weightlifting and stuff like that. But at the age of like 19 to 21, I've been a lot more productive in that. Especially recently, the past year or two, I've been going to the gym 4 times a week pretty much. Yes, I have my times when I don't go for a couple of weeks and back again. And I know with all COVID and all that, it's been a bit crazy to get in gyms and stuff. But no, recently I've been really focused on the gym, eating a lot more, and getting the right foods, nutrients, stuff like that. And making my body look as good as it possibly can, because obviously they do say you can still go to the gym, stuff like that, once you've had the operation. And it's been 5 years now, so everything's healed. It feels like I've never had the operation, even though I have. I've got a metal plate somewhere there, about there, a metal plate there, so I'm like Iron Man now. No, so obviously I've been going to the gym, doing a lot more workouts, which is great, and I can see a massive difference, especially in my chest. In some ways it benefits, but in other ways it may look worse to the pectus excavatum, because obviously the breastbone and my pecs are actually bigger, but the dip still remains the same. So obviously they're growing and that's still staying the same, so it will look like a bigger dent. But for some reason that doesn't bother me as much. And like I said, I could have a new operation if I really wanted to. I don't want to go through that. And anyone watching who still has pectus excavatum and you're not bothered by it, yo, like I said, you do not have to have it unless it's health, underlying health issues. Some people struggle to breathe. You know, sometimes I double breath. I think that's from the operation. Sometimes I'll be like if I've been working excessively, I'll be like sometimes, and you know when you breathe, it'll be like double. It's weird. But I don't think it affects me anything else from that. Like I said, it was all cosmetic that I had it. But you know, I look at the over the 5 years, it was worth it. You know what I mean? It was worth it. You know, I will be honest, I still sometimes get traumatized by the operation when I was 16. Just, you know, and I'm not saying it's a worse operation, it's more worse operations out there. Do you know what I mean? I respect everyone who's gone through stuff, you know what I mean? And it's, like I said, there's a lot worse things out there than pectus excavatum, do you know what I mean? There really is. There's so many different ones out there. It's also the opposite one as well, where the chest pokes out, but you can put, I think it's like a brace or something on, and it goes back down. And like I said, everyone's going to find their own issues that are worse than others, but for me, this was horrendous, you know what I mean, this operation. Age of 16, having to do that, obviously spending 4 nights on my own in hospital wasn't the best, but I've never really been in it before. But it is what it was, you know what I mean? But like I said, I do sometimes get traumatized by it. Sometimes I just cast my mind back to it. Yeah, you know, anyone who wants it, do go and have it if you can. But like I said, if it doesn't affect you, don't. Like if you don't mentally affect you, or you're not bothered by it, don't, because to go for the procedure, any procedure is risky. And for me at 16, it was a bit, do you know what I mean? You know when you wake up and you've got all tubes out of you, like it was tough going, do you know what I mean? But now I look back, I am thankful I had it. You know, like I said, I've done one. I'm 21 now. Is like I said, it probably, I can't say for everyone, but for me, I know when I'm like 30s, 40, it's not really going to affect me that much. It's more at a younger age, and that's why I work at the gym just so hard. I have that goal to get as big as I can, because obviously the bigger, you know, I'm not really bothered what people think of the chest, you know what I mean now. And I think you just get older, you grow more, you know. But yeah, it was hard to start with, even after I had operation for the first couple of years. Because obviously for like 6 months to a year, you're recovering from it. And then 2 years on, you're still thinking, is it right? I'm still really like, because I'm a skinny person. So I was like, oh, I'm super skinny. But the older I've got, like 2021, I've been more confident and just putting more muscle on altogether. So it's made me a lot more happier as a person to do. It really has. And I want to make this video because I wanted to make it the norm, do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't know about pectus excavatum. You know, I talked to a few people here and there, they've heard of it, but they don't know a lot about it. It's something people don't always talk about, and it's one of the things you don't really see it. You know, that's what in some ways I am thankful, you know what I mean? There's so many other things you can have that you can see all the time, and something like pectus excavatum you don't see unless I take my top off. Do you know what I mean? Yes, if you look really close, so you push down on the chest, you'll be like, oh damn, that goes in a bit, mate, that goes in. But you don't really see it from time to time, and that's why it doesn't bother me from day-to-day life. It's only when you go water parks, you take your top off. Every relationship I've been in, they've not been bothered. My other half, I'm single now, but more other half at the time, they've not been bothered. They've not thought anything of it. They've just done, oh, you know, it's a little bit of a dip, nothing really. They didn't even think I had it. But that's after the operations when I've been with people. So it has done its wonders, you know what I mean. And personally, I probably think it's worse than what it is. You know, I remember explaining in the video 3 years ago, when I had really bad anxiety. The best people to help you with these problems are people who've gone through it. For example, I go through anxiety so much. You know, yes, I'm so confident, and you'll find the people who have anxiety are some of the most confident people. Look at Ken. You know, I have so much confidence as well. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, I'm being honest. But there's times when I have so bad anxiety, and I will cry. That was all just because, you know, I thought it was worse than what it is, and people were looking at you, but they're probably checking you out, do you know what I mean? They're probably checking you out. They're probably not even bothered about what you've got, and that's the thing. But, you know, in life, no one, like, people look at you, but like, we shouldn't care what people think. And I know it's hard, and it's easy to say that, it really is. And I know it's one of them things, it's easier said than done. Everyone can say, oh yeah, you know, don't care what people think, but when you're in that situation, it's hard. You think everyone's looking at you, but everyone's got their own problems and issues, and because everyone don't talk about, people don't know other people's issues, you know what I mean? Look, when you're walking on the street, you're walking past loads of people. There's so many people with issues you do not know, maybe mentally or physically, you do not know. And it's one of the things, it's only because it's a physical thing, you think people are looking at you, but they're probably not all the time, do you know what I mean? You probably, or at the worst, they're probably looking like, oh, he's got a bit of a dip in the chest, that's it. And the older I got, the more I realise that. So anyone who's watching and you're young and you've got this, that's why I want to reach out to you guys and be like, yo, it's completely cool. And I look at it as I'm unique. I look at it more than anything like, yo, I'm kind of special because no one else has got this, apart from a few others in the world. I say few, there's probably like 1,000 people, if not more. So it's kind of cool in a way. It kind of stand out, that's why I think it is now. But at the age when I was younger, 16, I completely get it. You know, you feel a bit left out. You feel like, why am I looking different compared to everyone else? But you shouldn't, do you know what I mean? You really shouldn't, guys, because you're all amazing, you're unique in your own way, and you are. And it's boring to be the same as everyone else, and that's what I thought. But like I said, I had the operation, and it really helped me a lot. It really has. Like I said, I still get them days, you know what I mean? If I'm on the beach, I'll get a little bit conscious. People help me. People who are with me help me about me. But if I was on my own walking on the beach, it would take me a good minute or so just to relax. But it's normal. That's normal. To be anxious, to be all like that is normal. It's completely fine to be like that. There's nothing wrong with it. And I've realised about that, and I've embraced it. Like I said, the older I get, the more I learn and learn. And this is why I want to make this video for those who are younger more than anything. Because I know that people who are older, probably they probably read all about it. It's all on NHS, you can read all about it, all the different operations. I believe there's a new operation as well. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm sure there is. But there's so many different operations out there. And there's so many things you can do. You know, you can, if you've got mild, you can just do exercise and they help so much. I started off with exercise. But because mine was more than mild, it was kind of it was kind of severe, but not really bad. It was as close as you could get before you started having health issues with you. Do you know what I mean? So you can kind of understand how bad it was. But obviously now it's just mild, which I'm happy about. I take it, is what it is, do you know what I mean? Maybe a little bit worse than mild, I don't know. Maybe because I've worked out it looks worse, I don't know, one of them. But yo, this video is more than anything helping those who are younger, because I know me at a younger age, I really struggled with it, you know what I mean? It really affected me. And that's why I had it done. I had to have it done for my own sake. I was like, I can't, for me, I couldn't deal with it, you know. And if you can, yo, respect for the lens, you know, you're amazing for doing it. But for me, I just couldn't. I couldn't deal with having my chest like that, you know. And everyone acts different, everyone sees things differently. For me, I saw a massive thing for me, and I wanted to get it correct, and I did as much as we could get it correct. And the only reason why I wouldn't want to get no operation, just because if you don't need an operation, don't have an operation. That's what I see as, unless it really affects your mind. Like, yes, every so often it affects me, but I'm at that age now where it doesn't really affect me that much, especially me working out. I have a goal, like, I wouldn't want to be out for another 6 months to a year, having another operation. I really wouldn't. And if I don't need it, it doesn't affect my health. So I'm like, I don't want it. So that's personally why I wouldn't have it again. I could have the operation, but I wouldn't. It's like the scarring as well. You can see the video as well. Like, obviously I've got the scar across, but they did a brilliant job. They didn't make it too bad. And because I was 16, I was young having him. A couple of years later, it's so thin, the scar is, you barely can see as well, so that's awesome as well. And I'm happy. Like, I used a lot of creams for it, but it's really gone down, which I'm happy about. I thought the scar was going to be really bad, but it's still, obviously you can see it. But again, it's a story to tell. You know, people see you, they see a scar, they know you've had something or you've been through something. But for me, it's just a sign that I've been through that and I came out strong at the end. That's how I see it. But yo, I would definitely say if you're watching this video, if you do want it done, have it as young as possible, personally. They do recommend age 16 to 21 to have it done. Under 16 is probably a bit intense. I mean, I still think maybe I was a little bit too young to have it. It did affect me mentally for a while. I would have probably had it at 17, 18, a little bit older. But I had it, I'm happy I had it younger. Like I said, if you can cope with it, go younger. You know, you're 16, 17, if you do want it done. Like I said, if you don't want it, don't have it done. But if you do want it, it's probably better to have it at a younger age. You know, obviously the older you get, it's gonna probably, it'll take longer to heal, and probably your bones are more still in a structure. Do you know what I mean? When you're still 16, you're still going to be like 18, 19, you know what I mean? When you're like 21, 22, 23, your body's kind of fully healed, and the more intense procedure will probably have to be done. So the nut spot will have to probably be done rather than the Ravitch. Like, obviously with my one, I was younger, so I could have it, but like now, if I still had more, I had it when I was 16, I probably wouldn't have been able to have the one I had, which was less intense. And they say less intense, but it was not less intense. It was just as bad, I swear. It was horrific. So yeah, just bear that in mind, that if you are watching now and you're really conscious about it, definitely look at having it younger. Do you know what I mean? If you're like 14, 15, wait a couple of years, try and do some exercises, perfect. Don't have it, I would say, if you're under 16. But if you are watching the less invasive one, under 21, probably be better. But like I said, if you're like watching now, you're 30, you're 40, you're not bothered, good on you, because I'm proud of you. And like I said, it's a norm. For us, it's normal. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with having a Pectus Excavatum. It's cool. Like I said, it's cool. But if you are, you know, you're 30, 40, you can still get it done. I'm not ruling it out. You can still get it done, and it can still look perfect. It just, you probably will be looking at the NUS procedure rather than the Ravitch procedure, just because you were gonna want to flip that chest wall and you were older, so your body's fully like stopped growing. You know what I mean? And it may take a little bit longer to heal. That's probably the only downside of having it older, but you can still have it older. And I've watched so many videos on YouTube and all that with people in the 30s, 40s, and yo, it looks amazing when it's done. So, you know, hands off to you. So yes, guys, just showing you the Pectus Excavatum there. I know I've got a chain on, but like I said, you can still see it. But I have worked out a lot more since the last video. As you can see, guys, look at them bad boys. Nah, I was joking, but you can see both sides. Like I said, I've worked out a little bit more. Still got a long way to work out. But like I said, seeing on face, you can't really see a lot of it. It's just when you do go to the side, you can see the dip there. But it doesn't look as bad. Like I said, if you go back 2-3 years ago when I was 17, 18, I've developed a lot more since then. And this is what I'm saying. You can easily add a bit more muscle there. Easily add a bit more weight to yourself and look a lot more better in yourself by working out a lot more. Remember, I was really skinny, so it did look a lot worse than what it is now. But you can see it doesn't look too bad, is it? Like, if you get up there, it doesn't look as bad. Obviously, you can see a dip there still, but it doesn't look that bad. I'm just tensing out. Like, that doesn't look that bad, does it? And this is what I'm saying. This is why I probably wouldn't go for another surgery, because I don't think it looked as bad. Yes, like I said, you still know I have Pectus Excavatum, you still know I do, and I'm completely fine with that. But I can cope with this, do you know what I mean? I can deal with this now, and I'm happy in my own body, do you know what I mean, now, where before I wasn't, now I am. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Sorry, it's weird, I never really look at myself on camera with topless, so it's pretty cool. Now I'm joking, I'm being weird. But yo, no, that's what I mean. So I just hope I can inspire people and be like, you know what, Joe, you've done it, we can do it as well. You know what I mean? Because it's not a bad thing. Having Pectus Excavatum, it's not a bad thing. It's completely normal, completely cool. But I'm saying, if you do work out a little bit, I've got a long way to go, you know what I mean? I don't live that much, but if I did, it would look even better, do you know what I mean? But like I said, I'm always going to have that dip there. I could have the nut spot, pop it back up, but it is what it is. Yeah, guys, I really hope this video has helped everyone who's been watching, you know what I mean? Whether you've not got it and you're just learning, because that's the thing, I want people to learn about it if you've not got it, so, you know, other people, so you don't, especially at a younger age, you know, you can get people bullying you, and I don't like that. You shouldn't be doing it, but I said bullying should never be a thing, you know what I mean? Bullying is always because someone's upset about themselves, or someone's not going right in their life. That's why they bully, or they're jealous of you. So yeah, it's just to make people aware of it, because people don't know, and you know, some people may not like being asked the question, what is that? And people might do, like myself, I don't care talking about it, but some people do. So for those who don't know it, I hope it's helped you learn about it, and for those who do have it, I hope I've had to give you a little bit more information. I know I waffled on, I'm Simple Joe, that's what I do, you know. I just waffle on off the time. That's why all of my other videos, people probably just skip them. I do talk a lot. I just like to say stuff and get it all off my chest, and that's what I've done. So yeah, like I said, I hope it's helped everyone, guys. I know it's been a long video, I know, but I'll try and, you know, I'll try and make them a bit shorter. Now, like I said, guys, I wanted to make a long video. I wanted to talk all about it, and I think I've covered most things for you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for everybody who's watching, and like I said, really hope it helped. Let me know in the comments, guys, if it's helped you, or you've learned something new, or if I don't know something new, let me know in the comments as well. I would much appreciate it. You're all amazing. I love you all. Thank you so much. If you're new, press that button and become a simpleton, and I will see you very soon, guys. And a new Christmas cover will be coming out very soon on drums. I will see you in a bit. Peace out.